Okay, doing a quick video to see what it looks like to switch out the blades between the Bugout carbon and the newer Bugout aircraft aluminum scales. Okay, here we are. They're complete. I didn't want to go through the whole process of changing them out because there's some really good videos on that already. And in particular, one I really liked was Ryan's with knife pivot lube. His was titled Modding the Benchmade Bugout to Feel Like a $400 Knife. And he does a real good job going through, taking it apart and polishing the little washer inside and polishing the blade itself. And he uses some other products I didn't want to have to order, and I just happen to have some of this Chemical Guys heavy metal polish, which worked wonderfully. And then some of this high viscosity Starrett tool and instrument oil. Not too thin and not too thick, just kind of hits that nice sweet spot. And I just dabbed that on using some of the Q-tips. So it worked really good. And in addition to the blades and the thumb studs, I also swapped out the little plates in here that have the jimping for your thumb. So these stainless steel ones with the stainless steel barrel spacer were in the carbon, so I swapped those out so I'd have more of a blackout look for the carbon other than the thumb stud and the lanyard hole. So I really like how it turned out, and very happy. I think I'm gonna just keep them this way. I'll probably just sell this one with the aircraft. I don't need two Benchmades. I guess you never need enough Benchmades, but I use these pretty heavily, and or use my knives heavily, and these are two newer knives, and this will be my everyday carry, this Blackout one. So I just wanted to show the difference and what those look like. Really like how they turned out. I'll maybe just comment on the scales themselves. Before I bought this one with the aluminum scales, I was really curious how it felt compared to the carbon. The Starburst, whatever you want to call it, it has a nice positive grip, but it's very smooth, feels very good in your hand. The aluminum scales are noticeably heavier. There's a little bit more weight. The balance is superb, as you would expect. Really like the way it feels. The carbon is very light, and you just really can't even feel it in your pocket. Well, you can't feel either of them, but it's kind of a preference. Probably more in just style than anything. I mean, they both function really well. The steel is excellent. I think that's kind of what I wanted to cover. I've just been toying with this idea of changing out the scales, or I'm sorry, changing out the blades to get this black look on the carbon. So if you have any other questions about either of these knives, I'd be happy to answer them. Been very happy with both of them, and if you ask me, is it worth the upgrade to the carbon or the aluminum scales? To me, I think it is. They both are very rigid. The aluminum scales probably win by a margin, but when you're using your knife and applying pressure and some tasks, you definitely feel the stiffness in these two scales versus the regular Bugouts. I think I've owned all the different Bugouts, and I do notice the difference in the stiffness. And these two scales that Benchmade makes are wonderful and up to the task for heavy duty tasks compared to the other ones. So I think that's all I want to cover. Any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer any.